What is going on, everyone? My name is Jamon McKinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. New York Giants fans, I hate to have this conversation with you guys, but I believe that Joe Judge is going to fail as the New York Giants head coach. I really do. I think Joe Judge is going to fail. Now, I understand that Joe Judge has not coached a single NFL game yet, so I'm going to be watching Joe Judge very closely this year. I'm going to be very fair this year. I realize the Giants are a rebuilding team, and I realize that he is not going to turn around the Giants overnight. And let's be real. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, they swear by the guy. They feel that Joe Judge is the right man for the New York Giants head coaching job. They speak very, very highly of Joe Judge, so we'll just wait and see what Joe Judge, but overall, I don't know. I just see this bomb coming in on the Giants franchise, and I just want to warn you Giants fans before that bomb officially strikes because that thing's going to blow up in your face. I don't think Joe Judge is the guy for the job. I think Joe Judge is going to be overwhelmed as a New York Giants head coach. I do not believe that the Giants front office is going to be patient enough with Joe Judge to allow him to get the right players in the building to establish his culture. I just think that if Joe Judge doesn't start winning a bunch of games, the Giants are going to be impatient. They're going to fire him, and he will not get a fair chance. And overall, I don't think Joe Judge is ready to be a head coach. Let's look at the situation Joe Judge is going into. Joe Judge is going into a division where he is by far the worst head coach in this division, and it's not even close at the moment, based on what he's proven, because he's not coached a game before. But let's look at the coaches in his division. I can make the argument that NFC East is one of the best coaching divisions in the entire NFL. Doug Peterson, outside of his first year working with Carson Wentz, he's never had a losing season. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl in his second season as an NFL head coach with a backup quarterback named Nick Foles, who outside of Philadelphia has not performed well, and he beat Bill Belichick, Mike McCarthy. You can talk grease about Mike McCarthy all you want. I'm not completely sold on Mike McCarthy, but there's something to be said for a guy that's been a head coach for 13 years in the NFL and has had 10 winning seasons. He's not an awful head coach. And Ron Rivera has been to a Super Bowl. Ron Rivera is the two-time coach of the year. Ron Rivera gets the most out of his players. Ron Rivera won a lot of games in a very tough division facing Matt Ryan and Drew Brees 4 times a year. Ron Rivera doesn't get enough credit for winning a bunch of games in a very tough division. He went to a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Joe Judge is going to a division facing 3 coaches in his own division that have been to Super Bowls in the past. And you can make the argument that Joe Judge has the worst roster at his disposal in his own division. We're not even talking about the NFC. We're talking about his division. Have you seen the players that Washington has on defense? Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Ryan Kerrigan, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Ronald Darby, and Kendall Fuller are now added to that secondary. They got very solid linebackers. Dwayne Haskins kept getting better and better every single game last year. Terry McLaurin's a beast. He has special wide receiver written all over him. And overall, I trust Washington's coaching staff over New York's coaching staff. Not to mention, Philadelphia and Dallas have way better players than the Giants at the moment. And Joe Judge, he was supposed to take the Mississippi State head coaching job before getting called by the New York Giants. Mississippi State isn't even a top 5 school in the SEC. So you mean to tell me this guy is going from maybe going to not even a top 5 school in a college conference to all of a sudden being prompted up as this next guru at head coach for the Giants? I'm not sold. In the SEC, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Auburn, Texas A&M, they're all better than Mississippi State. And that's the job that he was going to take. Now, all of a sudden, people are telling me that Joe Judge is ready to be the New York Football Giants head coach, a head coach of $1 billion franchise. I'm not sold one bit. This is very similar, in my opinion, to the Cleveland Browns hiring Freddie Kitchens last year. A guy that wasn't ready to be a head coach, a guy that was overwhelmed, a guy that had very little experience, and a guy that ultimately failed. And Freddie Kitchens, he had a better roster at his disposal than what Joe Judge is being dealt with, because the Giants, they were just picking number 4 overall in the draft last year. They're not a very good football team overall. They need to continue to add to their roster. They're a rebuilding team. So in reality, I'm not sold on Joe Judge. And I hate to be the one that brings bad news to Giants fans, but ultimately, I believe that Joe Judge is going to be overwhelmed. I did not like the hire, and I think that Joe Judge is going to fail as the New York Giants head coach. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.